Okay, boys and girls, there's something I have to tell you about me. You should know this. You're going to need to know it for the year. I love Skippy John Jones. Skippy John Jones is one of my favorite book characters. So, some of you probably know him already. He's a pretty popular cat. But if you don't, it's important that you know that Skippy John Jones is a Siamese cat, but Skippy John Jones believes that he is a Chihuahua, which is a small, kind of yappy dog. All right, let's see what happens to Skippy John Jones in Skippy John Jones class action. Skippy John Jones was just dying to go to school. And nobody, not even his mama, was going to stop him. But she did by the scruff of his neck. School is for the dogs, stated Mama Junebug Jones emphatically. They're unruly and drooly, she added dramatically. Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. Plus, a bus full of dog breath would smell so atrocious. Good golly, Pop Lolly, it's such a no-brainer. If there was a good dog, it's because of its trainer. His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Then she added, You're Skippy John Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that. He looks in the mirror every day, said his sisters, Jezebel, Jillyboo, and Jujubee. But all he sees are chihuahuas. Arf, arf, barked Jujubee. After his family left him to think, the Chihuahua did exactly what his mama suggested, but not before he bounced around his room with some books. Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I don't get the fuss. It's not like a pigeon is driving the bus. Then he climbed up his sister's kitty condo ladder for a peekaboo in the mirror. I want to hear your prediction. What do you think he'll see when he looks in the mirror? Let's find out. Holy Julio, squealed the kitty boy. How many chihuahuas am I? He wondered out loud. Then he took a deep breath and, using his very best Spanish accent, because chihuahuas are originally from Mexico, so he uses a Spanish accent, he answered, As many as your head can handle, hombre. And quicker than you can say, the cat in the hat never did that. Give it a try. See how fast you can say it. Ready? The cat in the hat never did that. The kitty boy tossed his mask and his cape and a bright yellow banana into his mochila. Then, as he buttoned up his red plaid shirt, he began to sing in a muy soft voice. Okay, pause because this point is important. When I point at you, I need you to do this. Are you ready? Oh, my name is Skipito for Skeeto. And I'm off to school for burritos. 'Cause I've got a good hunch that I'm gonna have lunch with a grand old bunch of puchitos. Very good. Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. Listen here, Messy Missy, said Mama. How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder? Skippy John has it, said the sisters. What for? Asked Mama. So he can see the Chihuahua in the mirror. The Chihuahua, however, was already in his closet, boarding a bus for school. Now, we all know you can't catch a bus in your closet, right? So Skippy John Jones is using his imagination. But the kitty boy wasn't the only Chihuahua on board. His old amigos, that means friends, Los Chimichangos, were going to school too. Thank dog you made it, dude, exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. Si, Skipito, panted Paquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. We need your help con el bolito. Listen and see if you can figure out what a bolito is. Without a doubtito, declared El Skipito. But why do you need my help with the bully? A bully. Bolito is a bully. Because he is a perro mezquino, declared Don Diego, who barreñas around the escuela in a tazalita. He spins around the school in a tiny teacup, exclaimed the kitty boy in shock. See, dude, added Don Diego, he growls and he howls and he wears a suerte de lana también. Not the wool sweater, said Scapito. Uh-huh, agreed Paquito Tito, trembling. He is a woolly bully. There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully, so it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic poofed out the gatito's tail. And all that puffiness inspired the puchitos to sing. Okay, get ready for those claps, right? Okay, here we go. Oh, Puffy, Puffu, Puffito. We know you can do it, Skippito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that old woolly bolito. But there was no turning back now. The doggies had arrived at school. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First she blew, then she threw. Then every dog, big and small, chased a ball down the hall and into their classrooms, except for Skippito. He got carried along by the river of rovers. And, let's see, can you find Skippito? Do you see him? Oh, look, here he is. He's getting carried along. And landed in art class where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. I've never seen a pup do that before, said Mrs. Houndler, the art teacher. Then he trotted over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. Bow wow, woofed Mr. Muzzletuff. What a pair of ears. After music came math, where Skippito stunned Mrs. McDruler with his counting skills. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Are you impressed? It's not very good counting, is it? At the bell, the amigos followed their noses into the library. Not even a bowl of frijoles smelled as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I lick libros, declared El Skipito Fresquito, the great reader. I like books too, whispered Leonora Lapsitter, the librarian, from behind the bookcase. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fusé. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said the poodles. Fromage. Si, said Skippito. Queso. Queso cabeza, shouted the chimichangos from the rear of the room. I am not a cheesehead, chimichangos, chuckled the gatito. I am a chihuahua. So, let's see. Queso cabeza means cheesehead. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Puchitos in class with them. And Los Puchitos wanted to share what they had learned with their amigo. Okay, so this one is going to sound a little different because we're using a French accent since we're in French class. Here we go. Get ready with the claps, okay? So the puppies sing, comme si, comme ça, comme cito. We have something to tell you, Skippito. When the poodles say we, they really mean si. So don't look for a red hydrantito. think I missed a clap in there, didn't I? Hopefully you guys got it. After French, los muchachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. Can you tell from the illustration what a trofeo is? It's another word for trophy. I'm not good at following rules, confessed the kitty boy. What dog is, dude? Quipped Don Diego. But just then, the gatito heard a gut-gurgling growl that shook the entire escuela, or school. Perhaps the whole planeta, the planet. Holy heartburn, hollered Skippito. Was that my tummy? No, that is the bellow of the woolly bolito, said Paquito Tito with a shiverito. Look, here he comes. The gruesome grumble grew louder, and along with it came the rattle and plink of the terrible tazalita, or teacup. It was spinning wildly right under his nose, circling like a polka-dotted shark. Andale, declared Don Diego. Get out your duds, dude. But Skippito was too frozen with fear to unpack his mochila, so his amigos did it for him, helping to change their chico into El Skippito Fresquito, complete with mask, cape, and banana. What a platano, dude? Asked Pintolito. It's my snackito, replied the gatito. Will you share it with me and Tito? Yes, indeedo, agreed Skippito. Then woof, chakalaka, chakalaka, woof, chakalaka, chakalaka. Every doggy leaped out of the case and latched onto the turbocharged taza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the chicos just hanging on by a tail. Estoy mareado, cried Skippito. You are not dizzy, dude, you're green, quipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of a dog-filled teacup cut a clean path of destruction past the principal's office and spun straight on into the lunch bunch like a bowling ball. Strikeito! Shouted the Puchitos. And strike it did. Smash, crackle, and pop. The twirling tazalita crashed right into a table and broke apart, exposing the ferocious Fuzzy for what he really was. A teeny-tiny, itsy-bitsy, wool-wearing, teacup chihuahua. Dude, declared Skippito, you're no bigger than a bugito. But the bugito's only reply was a gut-gurgling growl greater than the hounds had ever heard before. Is that your tummy? Asked Skippito. Sí, replied the bolito. Tengo mucho hambre. I am hungry too, agreed the gatito. But you can have my platano. This act of kindness made the chimichangos pull out their jump rope right in the middle of the mess. And this is what they sang as they jumped over the jump rope. Peanut butter and belly buttons, chunky cherry pits. The woolly bully's taza has broken into bits. Wiggle, waggle, jelly on the toast. He's not a woolly bully. He's just hungrier than most. Just then, Mrs. Begalock stomped into the lunchroom. I smell a cat, she bellowed. That cat better scat. Then out came the whistle. First she blew and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase, except for Skippito. He wasn't chasing the ball. He was running for his life. First Skippy tripped, and then he slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet and back into the arms of Mama Junebug Jones. What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whistle Whiskers? Asked Mama. He broke my teacup, whined Jilly Boo. And he ate my banana, complained Jezebel. That's 'cause he went to school with the Chihuahuas, explained Jujubee. Later that night, after every Fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. Oh, I'm Skippy John Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater. Then he bounced over to his mamma and gave her a beso, a kiss she felt straight through the layers of her quilt. Good night, little Dipper, said the very sleepy mamma. Good night, mamma, said the very sleepy kitten. I can't wait to take you on more adventures with Skippy John Jones this year, but that's what I've got for you today. I'll see you at 11 o'clock for math. Have a good one.